All right, we're going to jump into another legendary Sparring Wars. And the Sparring War we're going to talk about this time. A lot of people spoke on it. This was rumored to happen years ago. Not quite sure how many years, but I'll say probably at least a good 10 years ago. Um, and the two boxers, the two combatants that we'll be dealing with is Adrien Broner and Errol Spence Jr. And let's just go ahead and jump on into it. Now the first witness we're going to listen to is Kid Chocolate Peter Quillen, former 160-pound champion, if I'm not mistaken. Been in the ring with the likes of Daddy Jacobs, Jay Leon Love, Andy Lee, Alfred Angulo, excuse me, Caleb Truax. So he's definitely been in there with some tough competitors. But let's see what he had to say.
What? Well, we was at the Olympic Training Center. We had, they was kind of doing something different. So it was like Anthony Darrell, Adrien Broner, Jorge Linares, me, Sean Porter, Peterson. We was like all the professionals coming in and helping the pros. And I seen Marcus Brown. I was actually sparring Marcus Brown more so, Jesse Hart. But Errol Spence, very calm demeanor and just like, I can't even, kind of explain the pinpoint focus the boy had. He just had something really different. And I told him, I said, bro, you're going to be a champion one day. You know what I'm saying? And some of the works to be able to put the work he was putting in against the pros that I think, I'm not surprised to see where he's at right now.
Definitely. So you got to see sparring like the Errol Spence and Broner sparrings and classic ones.
Yes.
It was good?
Very, very good, yes.
Was you eating popcorn and just watching it as a fan?
Yes, I just knew that the kid was going to have something special, especially with what he was doing. So, yes, I'm very happy to see his progression and see where he's at right now.
All right, he didn't go into a ton of details, but he did express how he thought Errol Spence looked pretty good. He barely even mentioned Adrien Broner. But let's go to the next guy, Jesse Hart, and he is definitely going to give more details than that. It's Jesse Hart, light heavyweight Jesse Hart, contender. Been in the rings with the likes of Joe Smith Jr., Sullivan Barrera, and Gilberto Ramirez. So we're going to let him give or listen to his testimony on what happened with Adrien Broner when he stepped in there and sparred with Errol Spence Jr.
Errol Spence is dangerous with anybody. That Texas Dallas monster animal. He's from, listen, Errol Spence, right? I was in training camp with him. You literally got to shoot him to put him down. I know that. I see him knock out, and this from mama, I see him knock out Adrien Broner when Broner was 130. And before Broner was Broner now, when he was champ of the world, Errol Spence clipped him. And that's real, I seen it with my own eyes. I was there. We was all up in Colorado Springs together at the Olympic Training Center. That boy, Errol Spence, is dangerous.
All right, so according to Jesse Hart, Errol Spence clipped him, knocked him out. That ain't the first time somebody's come out there and say knocked him out, or had him off his, or maybe not knocked him out per se, but said that he was out on his feet. So let's listen and see what Sean Porter's father, Kenny Porter, had to say. If you notice, these people are telling you who was actually there, which is funny because a lot of times you hear people say, oh, well, Floyd Mayweather put him in there with Errol and this, that. If you hear somebody say that according to what they're saying, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, let's continue.
That would be the Errol Spence that I had on the 2012 Olympic team. He was one of my Olympians, and when we was in camp, he sparred with Adrien, and he made Adrien cry. He made Adrien literally cry tears. Adrien had to be pulled out of the ring because he beat him up so bad.
Adrien Broner cried tears boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
What you asked
Damn, Ken. Come on, Ken. He cried tears?
He cried real tears. Real tears, not fake tears, real tears. Like the ones that you trying to hold back and they coming out and you can't hold them back, those tears.
Errol Spence Jr., be on the lookout for him, mark my words. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys calling in. Sean, man, good luck to you. June 20th, I'll be there. At least, yeah, I'll be there. And Ken, thank you for calling in, okay?
All right, now, that sounds totally different from what Jesse Hart said. You know, Kid Chocolate, he ain't mentioned nothing about no crying. He just basically said Errol got some good work in. Sound like Kid Chocolate might have been trying to be politically correct. Jesse Hart, he just went on out there and said that AB got clipped. He got knocked out. You know, sometimes when people say knocked out, they might mean out on their feet. So it's kind of hard to say exactly what he meant. You know, maybe he dropped AB. Who knows? Maybe AB was out flat. Who knows? But like I said, when people say knockout, sometimes they might actually mean when somebody's stumbling around out on their feet. Now, Kenny Porter's side of it was a whole lot different. He said he hit Adrien Broner so hard he started crying, which I've heard that rumor before as well, but that's a little on the wild side. But let's keep going. All right, so the next interview we're going to listen to is by Errol Spence Jr. himself. Let's see what Errol got to say about the sparring session.
Times, but you know, the Adrien Broner, you had him out on his feet. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. But you recently said it did happen. But you have a lot of respect for him. But what happened. Is there anything else you can elaborate on that?
I mean, it's just sparring. I mean, stuff happens in sparring. I mean, a lot of people get rocked in sparring or something, or get dropped in sparring. I mean, it's sparring.
But to have a guy out on his feet with the big gloves and everything else, that's a hell of a punch.
I mean, some people say I can punch. So, I mean, if you have power, you have power. You get hit with the right shot in the chin. I mean, it hurt anybody.
I know. Errol said something interesting. He was being a little elusive. He said, you know, it's sparring. People get knocked out. People get rocked. Basically, it happens, right? But he never said he actually did those things, and he never said which one it was. Then the interviewer, he kind of alluded to Adrien being stunned or wobbled or whatnot. And as I said, he never really confirmed it. He did, because he said, you know, I gotta help. You know, some people say I punch hard, but he never really said which one it was. Whether AB got knocked out, whether AB got dropped, or whether AB was stunned and wobbly. He never really said which one. But speaking of AB, we're going to let him speak on his own behalf and see what he says happened when they spar. So let's listen to what Adrien Broner had to say.
Me and Errol had wars. That was a particular time. You know, I was a 130-pound fighter. He's fighting 152. But there's no excuse. He caught me with a good shot. Every time me and Errol spar, it's very physical. And we mostly in the middle, and we just clutch it. And this particular time, he like slid down and caught me with a left hand, boom. And he hit me, he hurt me, and the bell rung. So I'm mad, I'm like, no, that's not it. So it was our last round, and the bell rung, so I'm like, oh, no, fuck that. So where I'm from, somebody hit you with a good shot like that, and the bell ring, we gotta go like 2 or 3 more rounds. So I feel like I got mine back. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was, but, you know, he come with a hell of a shot. You know, Errol's very strong, I'm very proud of him, congratulations to Errol. And, you know, that's all it was.
All right, now, that was AB's version of what happened. Now, he didn't deny getting cracked. He didn't deny that he got hurt. It's levels to being hurt. You know, normally when somebody say that somebody was hurt, that means they got wobbled. You know what I mean? Some people might take that as somebody being possibly out on their feet, depending on how long they was actually wobbling. Now the question is, because Adrien clearly didn't say he got knocked out. You can kind of say he's admitting to getting clipped. He's definitely not saying he was crying, but he did say he wanted some payback. So let's see if we can find somebody to verify what Adrien Broner said. Because technically, you can't say Errol Spence said anything to the contrary of what to what AB said, but you could argue some of the other people did. But let's see if we can find anybody to verify what AB said.
How was that sparring session with Broner and Errol Spence?
You know, Spence didn't knock him out. He was on his feet. He didn't know where he was for a moment. He's a little wobbly, but he didn't go down. And then he wanted to finish the sparring session so badly. He refused to get out of the ring, and then nobody could use the ring for like an hour because he was arguing with the coaches, and the other guys were like the Olympics were coming up and they were getting ready for that, and so it was a little bit of a confusion. He made it a bigger deal than he needed to at that time, but he just wanted to maybe get him back.
All right, now, according to Freddie Roach, who doesn't have a dog in the fight, if anything, he might actually have something against Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner, a trash talker. A lot of people get rubbed the wrong way with Adrien Broner. He actually said the closest thing to what Adrien Broner said. And actually, if you think about it, the closest thing to what Errol Spence said. No, Adrien Broner did not get knocked out. No, Adrien Broner was not crying. Did he get wobbled? According to Freddie Roach, yes he did. Was he hurt? According to Freddie Roach, yes he was. Was he out on his feet? Possibly. That could be considered getting hurt. But was he stretched out? No. Was he crying? No. But what Freddie Roach and Adrien Broner said kind of explains what Kenny Porter might have been wanting to say. Now, if you go back and listen to that Kenny Porter interview, clearly, he was upset with Adrien Broner at the time and or had a problem with Adrien Broner. But then again, you got to understand the time frame of that interview. That was right before they were about to fight. Adrien Broner was saying and doing some ridiculous stuff to Sean Porter, and I'm pretty sure Kenny Porter was not feeling Adrien Broner at all during that interview. During that interview, he talked about how he was the one that got Adrien Broner to deal with Al Heyman and the PBC. It was I'll just put it like this. He said a lot about Adrien Broner. If you can find the interview, it's Kenny Porter discussing the Errol Spence, Adrien Broner sparring, but he talks about a lot more than that during the interview with Sway. So check that out if you ever get the chance. But the point is, he might have embellished it. It sounds like he's taking Adrien Broner, maybe acting irrational and not wanting to get out of the ring and maybe what you would consider crazy behavior, and turned that into him crying. I think what Freddie Roach said probably was more on the lines of what happened than what Kenny Porter, based off the fact I think Kenny Porter had an accident grind at the time. I don't think Adrien Broner was literally crying. I think Adrien Broner was extremely irate and embarrassed, and he wanted to get some payback. Might have even been a little emotional. Not saying crying, but possibly emotional. Now, with that being said, a lot of things were cleared up besides the fact that Adrien Broner didn't necessarily get knocked out. According to Adrien Broner, Floyd Mayweather couldn't have been involved with this because a lot of people like to throw Floyd in the middle of this. Like he sicked Errol on AB because he was upset with AB and all this other mess. No, that couldn't have been the case, because at this point we're hearing that Adrien Broner sparred Errol when he was still around 130. And if that's the case, Floyd did not meet Adrien Broner, according to Adrien Broner, until he had fought Paulie Malignaggi. So in other words, he didn't meet Adrien Broner until he hit the welterweight division, 147. Okay? That would have been his third division, 130, 135, 147, and he moved down to 140 to win his fourth division. Now, according to Floyd and Errol, Floyd didn't even know who Errol Spence was until they sparred. And that would have been Floyd getting ready, I think, for the Robert Guerrero fight, something like that. So, basically what I'm saying, Floyd Mayweather didn't have nothing to do with this sparring session. It wasn't in the doghouse or nothing like that. So once again, if you hear anybody saying that it was at the doghouse or this was Floyd setting AB up and any crazy thing like that, just turn from their channel and unsubscribe because they don't know what they're talking about. This is stuff that's came straight from the horse's mouth. Not only Adrien Broner and Errol Spence, but other people that was there that gave their opinions. Okay? Now I'm not giving mine, I'm just kind of trying to clean up what it sounds like they're trying to say. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can do the same thing yourself. But that's pretty much all I got. This Head Busting Boxing's on Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you believe out of all these testimonies. You know, we had Jesse Hart. We had, who else? We had Freddie Roach, Errol. We had Adrien Broner. Please forgive me if I forgot somebody else. Who else was it? Kid Chocolate, Peter Quill. It might have been somebody else. I think that was pretty much it. Giving their testimonies on what happened of that legendary sparring session between Adrien Broner. You know, Broner said he got, you know, they sparred before. But on that particular time, Errol rocked him. Hey, it is what it is. But let me know what you think. This Head Busting Boxing's on Fight Doctor. I am out.